What's up, guys? Winter cut day 32, leg day. We are gonna make a coffee and a liquid IV, but I don't know if you guys will get to see the liquid IV because I just want to slam this coffee and then you know. Today's the same as usual. We're gonna aim for PR on everything if possible. And you might be thinking, how do you PR everything on a cut? Have a cheat meal the day before, and you might PR. So that's kind of what's happening. I mean, at least on the main lifts, you might PR. Like not that, like the ones that went down initially on the cut might go back up if you have a cheat meal. Because at the end of the day, you're still attempting to cause the stimulus by actually doing the training, but the diet is what supports the progression. So if your diet is off, then your gains will be off. You know? But yeah, calf raises with a straight leg, seated calf raises, bent leg. That's for both the calf muscle groups. Or I guess that's for both of the parts of the calf. Seated hamstring curls, hack squats, leg extensions, and then we're heading out. Real simple. Get stronger at that every week. You'll have huge tree trunks. I'll tell you what, I think I've put on quite a bit of calf size because I've just been hyper prioritizing it, and I never used to really train them up until really the end of the bulk. So, and for those of you who don't know, I have been cutting a lot longer than I've been making videos about it. So, and the reason for that is mainly just because I've been kind of inconsistent, to be quite honest with you. But I still have been way less weight than I was when I was bulked. So, and I continue to lose, which is good. Just not as fast as I want to. I'm going to stick to 2 sets on hack squats because I feel like when I do 3 sets, for some reason, that's like where it tweaks my back, is if I do a 3rd set. It kind of seems like it doesn't really matter what weight I do, but if I just do a lot of volume, my low back gets some kind of weird like thing going on. So I'm planning on literally just doing 2 sets of that, which might seem low volume because it kind of is, to be honest. I mean, we know 6 sets is the maximum effective volume for a muscle group, and that's 6 sets taken to failure, which is comprised of 30 stimulating reps. So, you know, if I wanted to have the biggest quads possible, I'd probably choose something like a hack squat and do 6 sets, but the issue is my body literally just doesn't want to do that. So I have to ameliorate that somehow, and that's why I also do leg extensions afterward. I mean, I think you should do some kind of fixed hip movement for your quads, because here's the thing. Squats are great, but they don't target a really important part of your quad, which is your rectus femoris, and it's the part of the quad that's directly in the middle. So, vitally important part of your quad that nobody seems to really think about. They just do leg extensions because they like the quad pump, but they don't actually think about why they're doing it. It's for complete quad development, not just the other random parts of your quad. So, anyways, I like this little hand transition I do, so I'll see you at the gym. Next to it, it's Jack's boxing gym. All right, boys. We got both my brothers here today. I didn't know my middle brother was coming, but he's here. So, starting off with straight leg calf raises as always. In case you didn't know, for calf raises specifically,
You should always prioritize the stretch way more than the contraction. The contraction is pretty much going to give you very minimal growth. But if you get that bottom half range of motion, that's where the real growth is at. So a lot of times you'll see me just greasing the groove here, warming up, getting that deep stretch. All right, so brother number 2 is hitting, I think, a back and bicep day right now, but we're hitting a leg day. And brother number 1 is floating between brother number 2 and brother number 3. So, anyway, max out the stack. Hopefully the range of motion is good. I feel like my ankles are slipping a lot today, but I don't know. That may have even been a little bit too much range of motion. But then again, I don't want to be the guy opting for quarter reps necessarily. Well, yes, there's not much hypertrophy gain at all to be had during the contracted position. I'm not going to knock you for doing it. But if you're trying to grow your calves, don't sit here like a ballerina on your tiptoes during a calf raise. If you're trying to get stronger calves for something like ballet or boxing, or you need to be on your toes, then yeah, hang out in that contracted position a little bit. But for hypertrophy, the stretch in terms of this movement specifically, calf raises, is crucial. Spending more time in that stretch is going to be more beneficial. So. Do a drop set. Oh, dude, what's up, man? You know, I don't know how else to say, but I need to train harder. My calf raise is just a little weird because your feet can slip, but as long as you stay within that groove, you can get some high intensity there. And I think that's important. Kind of an unspoken rule I've never heard anybody talk about is if you slip out of your groove, you can kind of go to pretend failure, because if you're out of your groove, you can't even finish the set. So you have to put the weight down and it makes everything hard. But you just artificially inflated the difficulty of your set and pretty much made it so that you reached failure before you even, you reached pretend failure before you were actually able to reach task failure of the set you were doing. So for example, if I'm benching and I let my shoulder slip, or I just know that I pressed in a way that wasn't favorable in the middle of the set, I could choose to rack the weight, right? Which would probably be the smart option, because once you misgroove, it's hard to regroove and get into that same flow. But misgrooving in the first place is genuinely a choice, and it's caused by negligence, you know? So if I let my feet slip on a calf raise, that is honestly mostly my fault. Sometimes it's the shoes you wear or whatever, but it's mostly my fault, and it can prevent me from training hard, prevent me from going to failure and getting bigger calves. So. People don't want to talk about progressive overload because it's not cool, I guess, even though I think it's cool. But people just want to avoid all the good ideas to just say something new that's unheard of, that seems cool. But the reality is, man, it all comes back to progressive overload. And if you're not progressively overloading, then you're training for bodybuilding and strength is not working. I mean, really, training, no matter what kind of training you're doing, whether it's cardio or lifting, like, you should always be progressively overloading. If you do drills, you're an NFL player and you do sprints and stuff, you should get faster. Progressive overload is the golden rule, man, and if you don't apply to it, or if you try to sub it out for something else, it's not going to be great. Now, here's the thing. Even guys who don't go to failure or don't try to do better each time, what's their goal? Well, it's to be better overall. That's why you train. And getting better at anything really is a form of progressive overload, not to get philosophical on you, but that's the truth. Okay, I actually don't have one more. All right. I gotta focus up. I haven't really been dialed in this workout other than the calf raises and some of the hamstring curls, but that's it.
My turn.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm at almost 48 hours right now.
I'm planning on doing there's this guy named Anabolic Gorilla on TikTok. He's 18. He weighs like 250. He literally looks like Mr. Incredible when he's in the car. He's huge. So yeah, an Anabolic Gorilla is motivating me to bulk.
That's awesome.
You wanna watch me throw around? It's 140, let's put it to 150. Whole stack. I did 140 on the left, now I'm doing 150 on the right. All right.
I gotta go.
150. Are you proud of your brother? Full stack in the leg extension. And see, here's the thing. A lot of you guys will go, not impressive, not worth noting. Full stack on the leg extension's easy, but hey, this is a single leg, so there's individual stacks per side. Now, granted, it only goes up to 150. I'm feeling the full weight of 150 because of how this cable is. Got to move over to some hack squats. I got to get on some music.
There's a hole. There's a hole.
Just up, up. Yes. Up. I'm gonna do the smart thing, and I'm going to either stop or switch to something else, but I think I'm feeling stop and hit the posing room because my low back is perfectly fine, but I can tell it is on the precipice of a tweak, and one more set would get me out of commission for a couple days. So I'm not gonna make the same mistake I do most times. I'm gonna do better this time. Learn from my mistakes, grow, recover, become stronger, get better, smarter, all of that stuff, all that good stuff. But if anybody is curious what my hype song is, here it is. Bad Company by 5 Finger Death Punch. This is my ultimate hype song. It makes me feel like the Punisher, man. But it's probably the best song that I can think of for lifting. It's gotten me hyped consistently for about 2 years now, which is more than can be said for any other song I've listened to. Except for maybe Slow Chemical by, I think, Finger 11. You know, now I think about it, there's a lot of finger bands. Anyway, yeah, I'm finished. I'm finito. You said you did charms?
Did what?
Charms.
Charms?
Yeah, chest and arms.
Oh yeah, chest and arms. I've never heard it called that.
See what we're working with here. I'm trying to break up my legs these days.
My legs are such a strong point. I'm wearing goofy ass underwear though, so I'm not gonna show them right now.
Coming with the Spider-Man underwear or something?
Pretty much, dude.
Pro waist control's hard. I get out of breath so quick.
The one thing that helped me was like on prep I had to do like 45 minutes posing a day. So like I could hold shit for hours.
Isn't it funny how everybody does the same poses instinctually? Like
Literally. It's like clockwork.
Pull the Kevin Levrone, just reach up and. I've been cutting for so long.
What do you weigh right now?
Right now, I'd guess around 162.
Oh, really?
That's probably what I weigh, yeah.
I'm like 174 right now, 173, but I was 152 on stage.
Wow, so you
Yeah.
got pretty light for that, huh?
I honestly was lighter than I should have been because I had to rush part of my prep, so it like
Dude,
I
I
kind
think
of dropped too much.
when you rush, you can't be as dialed in on stage.
It's
sucks.
the thing that sucks is like one, I was just so depleted, like unbelievably depleted.
I'm not gonna say this is creepy, but 2 naked men in a gym.
This is bodybuilding bonding.
This is bodybuilding at its
Bodybuilding
finest.
bonding.
Dude, Chalice, he's gonna get so happy.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's
dude.
gonna see this and he's
I'll
gonna
have to text him.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, you got the David Lade pose out. Oh boy, I gotta elongate my body. You know that leg snapping surgery
Yeah.
they do, bro?
Dude, and then you can't walk for like 2 years. It's worth it though to get 2 inches taller.
For real.
A little bit. See how this looks.
You know how to hit that 3/4 Arnold pose?
What, this one? Like
Yeah. You gotta make sure your side delt is like centered on whatever is seeing you.
Yeah. It's all about where it's being looked at from. Tilt to your right a little bit more.
Am I right?
Like whenever you're going, twist a little farther. Like move a little farther in.
Like this?
Yeah. Move up a tiny bit. Right there. That's solid.
This new LA Fitness shaker bottle is very high quality. I had to refer 5 people, so I just put down some random people's numbers and names, and I ended up getting a shaker bottle out of it. But seems like they're not going to take advantage of their 3 days free at LA Fitness. Either way, yeah, the manager came up to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, if you do this, you get a free shaker." And I'm like, I actually was thinking, I actually really want a new shaker. Because mine, I was talking about it in my video the other day. Mine's all busted up, leaky. So, and this one, no leak, bro. No leak. It'd be funny if it poured out on the floor there. But yeah, and the cool thing is, it's got a little kettlebell in it. Either way, I'm in no way affiliated with LA Fitness. I just think that this is a really cool shaker because it's got a kettlebell. Guys, we had an amazing workout today. Stomach felt a little weird because I had probably like the equivalent of like 8 bags of Takis yesterday. You know, the little snack bags. So that's a little weird, and had some other random things. Man. You know, we reached 1,000 subscribers, so I just want to say I'm really happy and excited about that. I never thought I would hit 1,000 years ago. If you had asked me, I would have been like, nah, that probably not. I made 100 videos. Clash Royale didn't make it there, but I made it to 1,000, and now I have high expectations. We're gonna have 1,000,000 one day, so I'm excited. But yeah, today's leg day went excellent. I started with leg extensions before hack squat, which I usually never do that, and believe it or not, it felt so much better, significantly better. I actually felt like I could put a lot of effort into those leg extensions, throw around the max stack, and then move on to hack squat and hit a PR. Come on, man. I put an extra 5 on each side, and I was able to actually get, I don't know how many reps, but it felt like a lot, and it was pretty controlled. So, you know, that's exciting. But, you know, that was awesome. I wasn't super dialed in for hamstring curls, but I believe I still went very close to failure. Calves went great. Everything went great. PR'd on most things. So, yeah, that was good. But, got to pose with my boy. That was fun. Yeah, that guy's pretty big too. So, and I got some news for you. I will be hopping on creatine soon. Creatine is, I respond very well to it. I used to take it a while ago, and my strength went up so much. And when I went off of it, my strength went down again, but I'm excited just to see what happens with my strength. I'm thinking I'm going to see a 5-plate hack squat in my future. Max stack on calf raises plus a 45. Incline bench is going to get up to 3 plates on the Smith. I see a bright future. So, this is, and especially during the next bulk, man, I think it's not unreasonable to assume I could get to 190 and be much leaner than I was at 186 last time. So, all very exciting things. Eventually, I want to get to 200, but that, I don't know, we'll see how this bulk goes. I mean, the moral of the story is, if you're progressively overloading, especially at fast, and you're in a hypertrophy rep range, you know, and you're not even a hypertrophy rep range, if you're progressively overloading very quickly and managing your fatigue properly while also going to failure, getting an adequate amount of stimulating reps, you're going to seriously blow up in muscle. I mean, that's why you see kids who are gigantic at, you know, 16 years old. Some of them just have the genetics to progressively overload very quick and, you know, get loads of muscle quickly. So, my plans of getting shredded, you know, I always contemplate, oh, should I bulk, should I cut? But the reality is, I'm not going to cut until my abs are sunken in. That's my plan. If I can't see my abs very visibly at all times, then I think it's pointless to bulk for me. So yeah, we're gonna get to a fairly low weight. We might even accidentally reach 170 once we hop on creatine. But the reality is, I know that that's intramuscular water being held, and that's actually going to further contribute to the effect of the leanness. So my goal weight might shift from 140 to 145, 150. We'll see if how the math goes. But yeah, we have big plans for the future, man. I'm excited to bulk, excited to progress, excited to cut, get shredded. And hopefully, man, I get noticed, because I love fitness. It's my passion. And I also think, too, as a Christian, I want to reach as many people for Christ as I can. I want people to know Jesus, and I want to be a reflection of who he is and do my best to try to emulate what he wants me to emulate. So if I could put that on a mainstream platform and inspire people, maybe they would consider Christ more. We are drinking this protein shake now. I was planning on filming a protein shake talk video separately, but I figured why not just include it in this video, because I'm about to do it. So, I noticed lately with my diet, it's very, it's much easier to fast until the end of the day and eat one big meal than it is to spread my meals throughout the day, because I don't have enough self-control to just eat a little bit and just be okay. I mean, I could, obviously, but it's just not that practical in my everyday life. So I figure what I can do to get my protein in, and without actually activating my appetite and getting hungry, is have protein shakes throughout the day until the end of the day, where I eat my actual meals and can have a little bit more fun and feel like I'm binging. So I'll probably have between 2, maybe even 1 to 3 scoops throughout the day. Probably just 2, to be honest, on average. And I'll split up the time, so probably 1 in the morning, 1 when I get back from the gym, and then late at night I'll have dinner. But guys, don't just subscribe to a specific diet or a certain style of eating. You have to adapt. You have to adapt the style of eating for yourself, because you won't be successful in your diet, and you won't be able to actually get it done, the cut or the bulk or whatever, if you haven't adapted a certain style of eating. So if some guy tells you need to eat 6 meals a day, go, okay, well, if I need to eat 6 meals a day to get big, then how do I factor in my appetite for that? How do I factor in my schedule? If you have work, if you have school, if you have, anything really can disrupt that. So some guys need to get all their protein in at once. But what I do recommend is trying to have protein in you for a lot of the day if possible. Doesn't matter what source it's from. This is just very helpful, because if I can have protein in liquid form, like I said earlier, it doesn't activate my appetite. So I can be safe with this and actually have protein digesting in me. But what really matters more than getting protein in throughout the day is getting it in to begin with. The main thing you need to stick to as a bodybuilder is, at the very least, get 1 gram of protein per pound of lean mass. That's my recommendation. And so if you're 300 pounds at 6 foot, chances are you probably have about, I don't know, dude, like 130 pounds to lose, and that would be before you'd actually be a very low body fat. I mean, you might even have to lose a little more. It just depends, and that's assuming you don't have a lot of muscle already. So you'd have to be like, okay, I'll have 170 grams of protein a day if I weigh 300. And if you weigh 200 and you're 6 foot and you're intermediate in the gym, have probably 160 grams of protein a day. So I don't know. I'm just giving some general guidelines at this point, but my general point is just adapt things to your style. Like, do things that you like. Do things that you can stick to. Because for me, obviously, I know that, you know, the bodybuilder typical way is 6 meals a day, but that's not practical for everybody. Sometimes people need to get it in differently, and you should make sure that you can actually adhere to what you're doing, not just do something that somebody else tells you to do for no reason. So, I don't know. But we are going to down this, and then, I don't know, continue the conversation. So, believe it or not right now, guys, I'm very satiated. And you might think, how are you satiated if you haven't eaten yet? Same thing I just described. I think getting in liquids before you eat anything during the day is a good way to ameliorate that ravenous hunger you might get just from opening the floodgates of eating carbs or something. Because that's the thing. If I have like, let's say, a donut, oh my gosh, that's the worst idea on a cut. Not because of the calories or the macronutrients, but because it's this sweet thing that has a good amount of mass that it'll take up in your stomach, and it'll just make you so hungry for the rest of the day, and it'll be harder to adhere to the cut. So my point is, don't have something like that when you're cutting. If you're bulking, yeah, I mean, dude, by all means, get your appetite up. That's probably what I'm gonna do, is do things to spike my appetite. You know, although I probably don't even need that, to be honest, because even on the cut, my appetite's already spiked. So, and on the last bulk, I noticed my appetite was actually really terrible. I had no appetite, and I had to really push through the desire to not eat. And now I feel like my baseline hunger is just higher all the time, and I want to be like, my body wants to be like 175. Which is kind of funny. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to use code Maxwell15 for PR Lifestyle order. And don't forget to use code MSharkey996 for Get Raw Nutrition. Both are linked in the bio. Alright.